also very vulnerable creatures, that are gifted from above to be attacked by these, negative entities. When you're talking about demonic possession, I know this was really something that you wanted to talk about today. Is there another case that you would like maybe to share with us today?
Oh yeah. You want me to tell you about a couple more cases?
Please do. Please do. We would love to hear it.
Okay, this one is weird. Okay, all right.
We love weird. Let's go for a weird.
This one happened in Stockton, California, and it was the home of James and Lauren Willett, and they were involved with the Manson clan and the Iron Brotherhood, and they killed James, her husband, by shooting him, and then they cut off his head, and his head was never found. Yeah, they thought he was going to snitch on them because they were thieves. And Lauren, they wind up killing her, and they put her into the crawl space of the house. So, and the husband was killed in Guerneville, and she was killed in Stockton. And Lynette Squeaky Fromme, who tried to assassinate President Gerald Ford, she was involved in it too, but she had a very small part, so they didn't really charge her with too much. It was accessory after the fact. So, but then she got life because she tried to assassinate the president at the Capitol in Sacramento. But anyway, they were involved. They were involved in some type of big heist with in November 1978 with two guys named Craig and Barabas, and they thought that Craig and Barabas was going to try to steal money from them. So they wind up killing both of them, putting them into a trunk of a car and setting that car on fire. Well, Craig and Barabas had a connection, and that connection was with Luis Rodriguez and his girlfriend Margaret Kleiss. Now this is what's really strange, Duchess, is Luis Rodriguez. When I was back in the 70s, I was an Arthur Murray's dance instructor.
Yes.
Yes. And I was a very popular dancer. And Luis Rodriguez and Margaret Kleiss came to the studio, and they had me teach them how to disco dance. So that was my connection to them. Luis, to me, seemed like a really nice guy. And Margaret seemed like a decent woman, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, they took lessons from me. Well, come to find out, Luis Rodriguez, one night, Luis and Margaret, they were going across the bridge over in Davis. And they were pulled over by the CHP. Luis Rodriguez managed to get the CHP's gun and kill both CHP officers.
Oh my Lord!
Yes.
Oh my Lord!
He killed them both. Luis Rodriguez was also too involved with Mary Vincent. Mary Vincent was a girl who was hitchhiking all around California. She was staying in the apartment with Luis and Margaret. And when she left and she was out in Nevada, she got picked up by Larry Singleton. Larry Singleton raped her, and then he cut off her arms and threw her in a ditch. She very horrible. She
Horrible.
survived. She came out of the ditch. She had her arms in the air so the bleeding was stopped, so she wouldn't bleed out. And she is still alive. She testified against Larry Vincent. He went to prison for a while, got out, went to prison went to Florida, killed a lady in Florida, wind up going to prison again and dying in prison. So
Well, thanks God that he didn't come out. Exactly. Oh my God, what a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah, and so it's so weird because Luis Rodriguez, he was involved. He had a connection with the Manson clan, with Craig and Barabbas, who were burned in the car. He was connected to Mary Vincent. That was a terrible, notorious case. And he killed 2 CHP officers. And I taught Luis Rodriguez how to dance. And and it was so funny is because he seemed like a real decent guy when I met him, but I also too picked up on his energy, and his energy did seem negative, very negative. Yeah, and it kind of gave me the creeps. And I wasn't a paranormal investigator at the time.
Yeah.
But
But you felt it. You felt
oh yeah,
that
I felt
it's very negative and he's strange and weird and maybe even violent at that time. But you didn't know that who's gonna be him in the future, right?
Even his girlfriend Margaret Class, I could feel negative energy from her. But when I did become a paranormal investigator, I went to the house in Stockton, where they killed Lauren Willett at, and we got a EVP of a woman's voice saying, "Help, help, please help." And yeah, their energy is still connected to that house. So um, that place, um, the family that was living there, they said it felt like real negative energy. And I asked them, and I said, "Can I bless their house?" And they said, "We we don't believe in God." I said, "Oh no." So I said, "Okay, I couldn't convince them." So I don't know how their life is, if something bad happened to them or whatever, but yeah, I tried to help them, but they just didn't want the help. And the EVP that we got that outside of their house where the woman's saying help, and I believe that was Lauren.
I have a question for you. You mentioned something very important here, and I would like all of the viewers and listeners to pay attention what Mr. Paul will answer back. Maybe even take the notes because we have somebody who really has a lots of knowledge, experience, with this kind of basically paranormal issues or negativity, demonic entities, spirits, ghosts, and etc. When you're saying, you know, you mentioned something that kind of just stays in my head at this even moment. You said they didn't believe in anything, so they were atheistic. So I have a question that is going to be straightforward. For somebody that is very atheistic, and let's say, they curse God, they curse people that are believers, they don't like Christmas, it doesn't matter, they don't like Chinese New Year. So we're talking about, it doesn't matter which religion or domination it is, but they have a always really negative, reaction towards to any of the holy holidays. Are those people prone more to do, like you're saying, crimes? Are they prone more to be attached to the negative energy? And will their families suffer because of the way they're behaving?
Um, yeah, when you don't accept, let's say, angels and stuff, I mean, a lot of terrible things can happen to you. Um, um, if you don't want to accept God or whatever, those bad things, they wind up getting sick. Um, the, Sometimes the pets in the house get sick and they sometimes die. I mean, I seen really terrible things happen to families. Financial burdens that start happening. All these negative things start happening to that family because why? They don't have no protection, and the protection is the angels themselves. That's what angels are here for. They watch over you. They're like the watchers, and they want to protect you and help you out. So, and if you don't call upon them because you don't believe in them, then terrible things will happen to you. You have accidents. You fall on the sidewalk. You get into a car accident. You have multiple financial bills. All kinds of horrible things start happening to you. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't
So
believe
you're
it,
becoming a portal, basically for negativity, negative entities, and negative outcomes like financial crisis, marriage breakups, fights. Like you saying, falls. Illnesses for your family, yourself, or the pets or the loved ones. So basically, what I'm hearing from you, you are then the portal for the negativity that is happening inside of your family home, friend's home, or it doesn't matter wherever you are. So what can be done? I know we cannot force, and I want to say Diva Dimension, Texas from Porch is never here to put anybody's religion down or up. We're all free to think whatever we want, and we support you guys in your freedom of religion and the speech. But I just want to ask, let's say that we are in that kind of position, or somebody from the viewers, what they can do with this family member that is being this portal and destroying this family. Is there something they can do when they're resisting? They're saying, for example, there's no God, there's no angels. God cannot help me. God left me. Nobody cares about me, because usually those are the words that I hear from many of the cases. What do you think? What can be done?
all you can do is basically talk to them, and hopefully they'll be convinced at some point in time to seek that help that they need. Um, yeah, because just like what you said, you can't force them. If I try to
Yes,
force somebody and hold them against their will and baptize them, that's kidnapping. Yeah, I'm going to wind up
exactly,
getting in trouble, So, and or
exactly.
assault, because now I've grabbed them on the shoulders and I'm dragging them to the bathroom. So, yeah, you can't force them. So, you basically the only thing you can do is talk to them.
So the only answer would be the free will. I have one question. I know it's going to sound crazy,
Oh, and also
because
too, pray for them.
pray for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, you know, some people that I did get in contact with when they were asking for help and spiritual advice, etc. And like you're saying, these portals are happening, and then their demonic possession and everything. Is it possible that this person itself can be demonically possessed, and that now they are actually, with their negative energy and everything, destroying the family, loved ones, and etc.?
Oh yeah, I mean, um, if they're demonically possessed, and if they're living with their family, yes, a lot of that stuff will bleed over into the family, and they'll feel the effects of it. So, yeah,
Very
oh,
sad.
yeah,
That's very
yeah,
sad.
all you can do is just really pray and just hope, and call upon God's angels to protect you and help that person that's possessed.
You know, uh, um, I know you have many cases that you experience over through the years, and every month, every hour, basically, because this is what you do. This is your calling. Is there a case that you can tell us about that you really uh, felt that, for example, maybe for this person there is no help, maybe there is uh, hope that is left, or maybe very minimal help that can be given because they're already gone too far?
You know, Danielle, some of my cases are just really, really horrible. Um, I get all the demonic cases because a lot of the ghost hunting groups. They don't want to deal
Yeah.
with the demonic, so they say, "Hey, Paul, we have a demonic case. Would you take it?" Blah blah blah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
everything comes to you then. Oh no. Oh yo. Oh yo.
I know. But there was some where I had to walk out, and let me explain. Okay, there was. In fact, I'll tell you about the ones I had to walk out. There's one.
Please do.
So many that were successful because I baptized them. I did the Roman Catholic
Yes.
house blessing. Successful. The demons gone. Good. Okay, the ones that was not successful. I did a case in Berkeley, and it was a couple, and they lived in this house, and they were hoarders. The demonic entity was telling them to keep everything. They had garbage all through the whole house. I
Lord have
had
mercy.
investigators that came in, and they had to walk out because it was so filthy. In the bathroom, they actually took out the toilet, and they were doing their business in the garage. And
Yeah, oh my
oh
Lord, yeah.
God, and on a good night to have fun, they would go to the gas station to use their bathroom. That was their fun night. They were just totally sick in the head, I have to say. The house was so bad, I had to walk out. I couldn't bless the house. I couldn't even walk around the house anyway to bless it because there was garbage everywhere. So that was one that I was not successful in. I mean, the demon had really got to him. And the guy, yeah, and the guy said that it all started when he was playing with the Ouija board. He played with the Ouija board.
There you go.
And then the demon was telling him to keep this and to keep that and to keep this. Okay, so that was one I was not successful in. Another one, San Francisco. I had something like 8 investigators with me. We go to this big apartment, and inside the house was filled with cockroaches. And I put my holy water on the kitchen counter, and you can actually see the cockroaches going to the holy water. They wanted to drink my holy water. I was too scared to put my equipment down because I didn't want the cockroaches to go into my equipment, and I wind up taking it home.
Yes, true.
The 2 ladies that lived there were huge. They were obese. And on the wall was a poster of them. They were burlesque dancers. And they go, Paul. They said, some men love big women. And I go,
oh, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Big, small, tiny, it's fine. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
And the apartment there was a multitude of cats in the apartment.